Clayton, as always, thanks for your time. We start off in the first race with the first timer in the colours of the very famous Marsh Shirtliff, and of course the horse is called Glacier Girl.
Yeah, I think Mr. Shirtliff's got a nice filly on his hands there. Yeah, she's been showing us some decent work. You know, obviously with her being first time, we obviously have to be concerned about her being green and things like that. But she's definitely got a shot. You know, I've given her an each way chance.
Then we have Armstrong, who was heavily supported in those very famous Ripon colours, and Armstrong obviously runs in the second.
Yeah, first time out, he showed a lot of speed. You know, he went for the first 400 meters of the race, and then just absolutely never went through with it. You know, he just stopped to nothing. So, but we've come back. We've ironed out a few of his issues that we found after the race. Yeah, he's also doing well. He's also had plenty of work. Very fit horse in a good space. So look, obviously he's got room to improve. We are stepping him up. So look, I think that with all his work and the way he's been going, you know, he can definitely run an improved race from his first start.
Start off with CINNABON in the second, who comes back after a gelding.
Yes, definitely needed the gelding. I think he's going to find this distance a little on the sharp side, but he can be watched in the future.
Okay, on the face of things, MARMOOK's not going to Hollywood. He hasn't run since May. What are you expecting?
Yeah, obviously it's a prep run. You know, we're getting him back into racing now, getting him fit again. He's a type of horse that has shown us ability in the past. He doesn't lack ability. Whether he puts his mind on the job, you know, is another thing. But it is definitely a prep run. He will be in need of his start, so we're looking for things later on in the year.
Right, we know that Purple Diamond has got top class ability and form. What are you expecting?
I think he should put in a big effort. He did over race the first time with the blinkers in his last start. I'm expecting a big improvement.
His stable companion in the same race is obviously THRONG.
THRONG will lead the run. He needs a bit further too.
Quite a busy race for you, the first leg of the pick six. You start off with Flying Fable, Guns and Roses, who we know have got plenty of ability, and Mrs. O, who looks just about ready to win.
Yeah, Mrs. O, you know, she's probably the one of the three horses that I think would strip slightly fitter. She does bring fairly good form into the race, and if she has to reproduce her best, out of my three runners, I'd say she'd probably be the one to beat. Flying Fable is a horse that's steeped with ability. She has had her issues, which is why she's been out for so long. We've managed to get on top of it, thankfully for the patience of the owners and giving us the time to get her right. I think the filly's in a good space, but she definitely will need the run. Guns and Roses is pretty much a similar circumstance to Flying Fable, that we've had one or two issues with her that we've had to sort out and get on the top of. She didn't winter really well, so it took a bit longer. We've had to wait for her to turn the corner and her coat to look better. She's carrying nice condition now, but I also think that she'll be in need of this run, and she should come on a lot from what we see on Saturday.
Visuality, touched off by the shortest of short heads last time out. What are you expecting this time?
Yeah, hopefully something similar. However, we don't have the luxury of the draw that we had last time, but she can finish well, and Samanga does know her well too, so she should be competitive.
And then, of course, we move to the fifth race, first leg of the jackpot, where you've got Storm Destiny. This one looks to be on the right path in the right colours.
Yes, definitely is. Yeah, another filly that's got loads of ability as well. You know, she won her first start very well. Her two subsequent runs were obviously very good. You know, obviously the one behind Mr. Tarry's filly in Durban, I thought it was an eye-catching performance on that track at Gravel. In terms of her fitness, yes, she might just be needing one start, and also she takes on a decent filly in Mr. Lairds filly, you know, who's got very good form behind her. So yeah, we got a good draw. She's in a good space. She's a filly that's going along the right way, and I think she can give a good account of herself.
The first leg of the jackpot, Cordillera.
Cordillera won very well, although it was a work riders race. Yeah, we have to obviously take up place in the assessment, and her work's been good enough. She should be finishing well, maybe back end of quartets.
Marvellous. Then I know that this horse is very close to your heart. He's not straightforward, but he's got his ability, and TAPENZEE can deliver on the day.
Yeah, TAPENZEE, you know, he's a horse that, as you said, he's got a lot of ability. I think most of it boils down to what's going on in his head in the day, because the ability is there, and if he puts it together, he can, you know, can run with some of a lot better than what his form suggests. with Gavin aboard, you know, first time that he's had him on top of him, and he's riding exceptionally well at the moment. I think that he should be able to get a little bit more out of the horse, and it'll be nice to see that.
Mighty and Magic in the 6th.
Very good last run. He did pull a shoe in running, and he came back with a little bit sensitive after pulling a shoe. So perhaps there's a little bit of improvement to come on that last showing.
VARIMAX, he's also a quirky fellow, but he's also not short of ability.
Yeah, VARIMAX, he's got a lot of ability. He also turns up when he really wants to. I think that drawn one should suit him. Gavin on top of him also should be able to get the best out of the horse. I think this race looks like you know, things might fall into his favour, and hopefully that he wants to run on the day. He could be tough to beat if he does.
Before noon in the 8th.
Also come off a break and should need the outing.
Golden Loom winner Riverine carried the colours of Brian Riley, which are the same colours as Oh Lucky Man in the 8th.
Yes, our Lucky Man's been doing well over that course and distance. He's been very competitive over his last few runs. He may be looking for the mile on that inside track, but he should be competitive.
And then finally, to put the lid on the day, race 9, you've got Perfect Tigress.
Yeah, this filly, you know, she's a filly that we've always thought quite highly of, and really thought that she's a filly that would go through the divisions. As I mentioned last time out, that maybe after a maiden going to the mile in Durban, although she ran behind that top filly of Mr. Tarry's, it could have been just a little bit too much too soon for her. So we gave her a bit of time. She came and she won a good race over 1400 running on late. The 1400 on the inside track probably is a touch sharp for her. But the fact that we've got a good draw, we may be able to place her well. And I think she's a progressive type of horse, and she should run a big race on Saturday too.
Yes, I did a little informal survey on the second race of the afternoon at TURFFONTEIN on Saturday. I compared it to all the other 1400 metre races. It was the race, obviously, that had no whips allowed. It was the second fastest time of the day, which tells us that A, the horses must be very good that finished first and second and maybe even third, but B, that the whip does not have a significant impact on the ultimate outcome of the race.
Yeah, I think that you make a good point there, saying the whip doesn't have a significant outcome on the impact of the race. But I think with first timers, a little bit of encouragement is needed. Whether they bring in a rule that the jockeys have got to keep the stick on the shoulder, not bring it round and just keep tapping them down the neck or something. That would be up to the jockey club to decide. The fact that they ran the times they did without that, you know, especially my horse managing to get to the front a little bit sooner than what we wanted. Maybe just one or two taps of encouragement may have got his mind back onto the job. Having said that, take nothing away from the winner, he won exceptionally well. I think they are two really good horses by the looks of things. What the nice thing was, and probably leans to the purpose of not using the whips, was the way they finished the race. They really looked like they finished the race. Randall and Lyle both said that they pulled them up at the mile. So for horses to finish a race that way and then go upsides and be doing a good half pace next to each other, they obviously were enjoying it. And the way they came back, well, the way ours came back after his run, he showed that he really did enjoy the race. So maybe something to look forward into the future to. Could you adjust one or two things? But I think all in all, it was a successful experience, and we'll see what happens thereafter.
I'll leave you with one thought.